Hey everybody, it's me, Jennifer, over here at the district office, and I wanted to thank you for coming to our professional development. I know it's summer, and I'm sure that you are exhausted, but there's a lot of great things going on this weekend. We're really, really happy that you're here. So thanks for coming. Here we're going to get started. So today's professional development is starting off with a message from me so that you know what the lay of the land is for the next few days. So first of all, we're here together and we're going to be learning together for 3 days about English language arts, and we're focused on our English language arts program. And we are stuck. So for the next few days, we're going to be digging deeper into our English language arts adoption, and that means learning more about the writing strand, learning more about the ELD strand, and maybe diving a little bit back into our reading strand. We know that the ELD strand and the writing strand are things that might come second, that the reading portion probably came first for everybody, and you've been spending a lot of time on it. But this is our chance to really dig into writing and language and all those things that maybe we haven't gotten to yet, or we've just sort of tapped the surface of. So we have our publishers here to help us do that, and also some of our coaches will be helping us do that. So we're really going to be digging in there. What's in there? What did we get to? What haven't we got to? And then we're going to be doing some building of strategies, particularly for teaching ELD and writing. What can we do to make the curriculum come to life? And then finally, we're going to be doing some curriculum mapping and assessment alignment. Assessment alignment was one of the things that came up from your feedback over and over this year, and now's our chance to tackle it. So why focus on ELD? English learners make up about 45% of our population, but they're the subgroup that are making the least progress. They're struggling, and that means we're struggling. And so we really want to focus on English language learners. In this case, it's integrated ELD. How do we teach English learners within the context of our classroom when we're already teaching English language arts to everybody? What does that look like? How can we learn more about that together? English learners have specialized needs that aren't always visible, and obviously they aren't easy to meet. Their English learners come in all kinds of shapes and sizes and needs. Some have had education in the place that they came from. Some have been here since they were born and are still English learners. We have a lot to explore in terms of English language development, and we're going to do a little bit of that together this week. There are effective strategies out there. There are programs that are having success, so we want to talk about those and do as much as we can for our English learners. And we know that from John Hattie, I know you may or may not have heard about him. You probably heard me talk about him. Clarity is a big deal. How clear we are with all of our students, but also with our English learners, is really important. And our teacher efficacy, how well we believe that we together can impact English learners, will make a big difference. So let's work on that together, okay? What gets focused on gets done. So what gets our focus gets done. So we're going to focus on English learners, and we're going to do it. This is our year to really make a difference for our students. Why focus on writing? Writing was explained to me once, and I'll never forget, as thinking at the end of a pen. It's the way that we can see our students thinking, the way their thinking gets to be visible, and the way that we get a little peek into their little brains. This is a big deal for our English language arts adoption because we need to see how kids are doing, and that's how we're going to do it. Full implementation of a program takes up to 5 years. We're still new at this. We're only in our second year for the most part. So we've still got time to improve and to really learn to use this program as a tool to make things better for our kids. Also, our writing assessments, we know, are not well incorporated into the new curriculum. They came about before the curriculum. We're adding IABs. Where do those fit in? So we need time to talk and to kind of mesh things together, and that's why we're here. We need you. We also want to change the act of assessing from an event to a process. So right now, I know how hard you work on assessments because I hear you talk about it and I can see it. All the time that you spend when a writing assessment comes up on making sure that things are just right and spending days teaching the genre and making sure that things are great. And that's awesome because that helps our kids do better. But writing isn't an event, it's a process. So we really want to focus on the process of writing, how that looks all the time in your classroom, so that when there's an assessment for writing, it's just another day. It's another day that we write, everybody, and it's just another prompt and another thing that we do, and it's not a special event. So that's really my personal goal for us. We're reading a book called Coherence. It looks like this. It's kind of on the screen too in my department. And we are focusing and focusing and focusing. And that's why you're hearing me say ELD and writing over and over again. We're focusing on those things, a collaborative culture where we all get to work together for that. We want to be accountable. That's our assessment process and deepen our learning, of course. And that's exactly what we're doing this week. Finally, curriculum coherence is the three things that we're working on this week that match curriculum coherence is curriculum mapping. A curriculum map is kind of a guide that takes us through our curriculum. It's not just the pacing that exists in the curriculum, even though that's really important. We're going to follow that, but we're also going to go hand in hand with what we know we need to do to get through that curriculum for our students in a way that's logical and focused and collaborative. We want to be consistent across sites. We want all of our kids to have the greatest education that they can get, whether they go to Mays or R.O. Hardin or Sunny Slope or wherever. Everybody needs to get the same consistent curriculum, and we're going to be working on that together. The map that we build this week is going to be used by everyone in the district next year. That doesn't mean we're going to walk out with it perfect, and it also doesn't mean we're necessarily going to walk out with it done. But it'll be something we continue working on in the fall and that we ask all teachers across the district to use for our students so that they can get the best education from us possible. So the difference between curriculum planning or curriculum mapping, and unit planning is the units are the little plans that come in between. We're going to start focusing a little bit on unit planning, but it's definitely not the gist of the entire PD. We're going to do some more on unit planning in the fall. And then finally, lesson plans are detailed descriptions of your instruction, right? It's what you're going to teach each day. We can focus on lesson planning as well. Lesson planning is really a lot more individual than curriculum mapping and unit planning. So those little arrows off to the right that you see are to explain curriculum mapping a little bit more and the process of going from curriculum mapping to lesson planning, right? So curriculum mapping, we're vertically aligning our curriculum so that when kids go from grade to grade, things are coherent. We're also horizontally aligning, right? So we're looking at students learning things in one course. In another school, they're learning the same thing, right? And then there's this vertical alignment, I guess it goes that way, that we are learning about and that we'll be working on so that between subjects and between different content that kids take in a grade level, we're aligned. And our new program does that really well, so we're lucky. Finally, summer really is coming soon. This is your last few days of professional development before you get a break. I hope that you take it and that you get to relax and enjoy your time with your families, with your friends, that you recharge your passion for teaching and your love of learning, and that you have a really awesome summer. Thanks so much. Let me know if you have any questions. We're so glad you're here.